So this is going to be a video on why, in my personal opinion, Naoya Inoue is going to crush Stephen Fulton. We've had a lot of fights this year, a lot of pick'em fights. It's been a very good year for boxing. First with Plant Benavidez and Yard Beterbiev and Ryan Tank, Loma Haney, Taylor Teofimo. We've had a lot of pick'em fights, tough fights to call, right? I got all of them right. Lomachenko got robbed. We all know that. But the only one I really got wrong was Teofimo Taylor. And if you didn't notice, Tank was smaller than Ryan. I understand he was at a rehydration clause, but Ryan's the taller, longer guy. Tank knocked him out. Loma was the smaller, undersized guy against Haney. Loma beat the shit out of Haney and got robbed. Teofimo was the smaller man against Josh Taylor. He beat the shit out of Josh Taylor. So my point with all that is that this size differential doesn't always play a role. And when you got somebody that, in my opinion, is top 2 or 3 pound for pound fighters in the world, I don't think him moving up 4 pounds is going to make that big of a difference. I think his power is very well going to carry up. I think it's going to show in the fight, too. Fulton's not. I understand that Inoue's fought at 108 pounds before, but the size discrepancy really isn't that big. Just like I said when Tank was about to fight Ryan. Just like when I said when Loma was about to fight Haney, and Loma beat Haney and got robbed for his efforts, but nevertheless, he won that fight. And I don't see anything much different happening here. I don't think the size is going to play a factor in this fight. I don't. I think Fulton is going to come out and box very well the first few rounds, but eventually those body shots are going to catch up to Stephen Fulton. And Stephen Fulton does get hit to the body. Those legs are going to slow down. And not to mention, he's a Philadelphia fighter. He's going to go in there with the chip on his shoulder trying to prove a point. And eventually, I think that Fulton's going to get lured into a firefight, which plays right into Inoue's hands. Taylor Teofimo, the odds were close. Ryan and Tank, the odds were close. Plant Benavidez, they were a little bit wide. He was like a 2.5 to 1 underdog, Caleb Plant. And same thing with Loma Haney. And Loma beat him. But, there's a reason why this guy's a 2.5, 3 to 1 underdog in this fight. Inoue's special, man. And another reason why I think Inoue's going to fucking crush Stephen Fulton is, assuming that it does go to the cards, it's not going to be lopsided for Fulton. And they're not going to give Fulton a close decision in Japan. I would be shocked if they did, because there's so much money to be made in Japan. So I would be absolute. If Fulton won a close decision against Inoue in Japan, I would legitimately be shocked. Okay? And another reason is this. Fulton cannot knock Inoue out. If Naoya Inoue is getting hit from Manny Rodriguez, an all-time great Nonito Donaire, getting his eye socket broken by an ATG in Nonito Donaire, Omar Narvaez, all these guys, Fulton, who, even though he's moving up in weight, Fulton, who is a black Paulie Malignaggi, basically, is not knocking out Inoue. So he has zero chance of knocking Inoue out. Plus, he's going to have a hard time getting a decision in Japan. And that's even assuming that this fight goes to the cards, which I don't think it's gonna. All right? And I cannot stand when people, Inoue has very good footwork. I understand that Fulton's very athletic. He's very, good upper body movement, good head movement, etc., so forth. But Inoue has very underrated footwork. He's very measured and precise and accurate. You understand? And that's one, and especially when you add all the timing in with the accuracy. When you mix the accuracy in with the timing, in with the footwork, in with the power, I think Inoue, I think Fulton is going to start off good. He might even win the first few rounds, but eventually, and Fulton does get hit to the body. I think Inoue's going to hit this kid everywhere, in his arms, in his ribs, in his chest, and his stomach, and eventually he's going to start to crumble. When we get to the mid rounds of the fight, I think those effects are going to start to show on Fulton, and I think Inoue's going to get Fulton out of there late in this fight, guys. Like I say, of the big fights we've had this year, in my opinion, this is the easiest one to call. I was pretty confident, I was more on the fence with Plant Benavidez. I picked Benavidez, he won. I was even a little on the fence with Ryan and Tank. I picked Tank, he won. I knew Lomachenko was going to beat Devin Haney. I didn't think they were going to rip him off like they did, but I knew Lomachenko was going to win the fight, and he did win the fight. The only one I really got wrong of the big fights this year was Taylor Teofimo. You know, Teofimo proved a lot of people wrong in that fight. But like I say, when you mix all that together, the timing, the accuracy, the power, and plus how measured he is with the footwork, bro, I think Fulton is biting off more than he can chew. And yes, I'm saying that as Inoue's the guy moving up in weight. Yes, I'm saying that as he's the smaller man. But again, Tank and Ryan, and I know Ryan was at a catchweight, but Tank was the smaller man, knocked him out. Lomachenko was the smaller man against Haney. Loma beat Haney and got robbed. Teofimo was the smaller man against Josh Taylor. He beat the shit out of Josh Taylor. So this shit about the size difference, it's not going to play a factor, people. It's not like he's jumping up from light heavyweight to cruiserweight or cruiserweight to heavyweight or something. He's jumping up 4 pounds. So I expect the power to carry up. I think Inoue's might be the best version of himself we've ever seen, considering what's at stake in this fight, #1 pound for pound status, and becoming a unified champion in a 4th division. Forget about it, bro. He's gonna show up ready to fucking kill Fulton. And again, assuming that the fight even does go to the scorecards, Fulton's gonna have a tough time getting a decision in Japan, right? And he can't knock Inoue out. So I think for the big fights that have happened this year, to me, this one is the most obvious of all of them. I think Inoue he'll struggle in the first 3 or 4 rounds. After that, the body shots are going to start taking their effect on Fulton. He's going to be getting hurt. You're going to see the effects, and eventually he's going to crumble in the back half of that fight, guys. I don't think this is a hard fight to predict, guys. The more I've thought about it, the more film I've watched, and if I'm wrong, I'm dead, the right's wrong, but I think Inoue is going to fuck Stephen Fulton up. And not only that, but Fulton can't punch, and you have to kill the Japanese fighters. You literally, and those Japanese and the Filipinos and the Thai fighters, you have to kill them. Okay, so like I say, I was, Plant Benavidez, Tank Ryan, Loma Haney, Taylor Teofimo. Those were all tough fights to call. I got 3 out of the 4 right. Well, technically, on paper, 2 out of 2, but that Loma Haney fight was a robbery. We all know that. But to me, this is the 5th big fight of the year, and this is the easiest one to call by my estimation. So that's just my 2 cents. That's some of the reasons why I think Inoue is going to do a paint job on Fulton. But maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm dead the right's wrong. I was wrong with Taylor Teofimo. So we'll see. But that being said, hit the like, everybody. God bless. And I'll talk to you on the next one. Salute.